And we're live. Episode 1, baby. Holy podcast. I'm here, Martin, coming to you live from Mars, as you could see. Let's start off by saying why I chose Mars. The reason why I chose Mars is because I think Earth is fucked. I think the Earth, I don't think Earth is fucked. Let me take that back. I think Mars could be like a sanctuary for us, I think Mars could be a place where civilization will one day exist. Now, a lot of people, such as my grandma, they think space is a waste of money. Do I think space is a waste of money? Absolutely not. Little collagen, little Enduraline. Switch it up for you after workout. Keeps your skin looking good, keeps your nails good, your hair good. Anyway. So, question about Mars. I think Mars is like the moon for us. One day we looked up at the sky, we saw the moon, and we thought, hey, we should go there. Who thought of that? Everyone, Galileo, when he first saw the moon. It's funny how time switches things up. So back in the day, I don't know when Galileo, I think he was the 1500s, I'll check it out, I'll put the clip. And I'm gonna, like I said on this podcast, it's all opinions. It's all my opinions. It's all, truths that I believe. They might not necessarily be true for all you, but hey, fuck it, we're just gonna ramble on and rant. So Galileo in the 1500s, he looked up, I believe he was the first person to discover other planets. I know he had a space probe, I think it's called, named after him, but he looked up at the stars with wonder. And that's the big difference, is the human being is all about mystery, wonder, because, especially nowadays, everyone thinks they know what the fuck they're talking about. Everyone thinks they know what is right, what is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing. Nobody understands the true fabric of space, how big space is. They can guess, they can estimate, they can have theories. And a theory is pretty much like an educated guess. I learned that back in school. But Galileo looked up at the stars, looked up at the planets, and he knew that there's a system. And it's weird how human beings, animals, nature, science, we all have systems, right? So he thought, and early thinkers, they thought that the earth was here and everything circled around it. The sun, the stars, the planets. They believed that earth was the center of the universe. Did they know how many earths there were? Of course not, but we figured that out. As human beings, we just continually evolve. So Galileo thought the earth was the central point of the universe. And it's funny because coming here from Mars, live from Mars, it's insane what our technology could do nowadays. Back 10 years ago, I remember, let's just say, because I'm 26 now, let's just say when I was, not when I was 16, but when I was around 9 or 8 years old, I remember being in the car coming from New York, always staring up at that moon. I always thought it had a face on it. I mean, that's what I looked at. I always thought the fucking moon always had 2 eyeballs and a mouth. It was like sitting there looking at me, but I used to follow it. So we'd go from New York to New Jersey. My dad would be driving. We didn't have iPods, we didn't have music, we didn't have shit to do back then. So what would I do? I'd look out the window and I used to look up at the moon on my way back, and I'd always think it had a face on it. And it's crazy to think that humans got to the moon. You know, we landed on the moon, we planted the fucking American flag up in that bitch. You know, other countries did too, eventually. We were the first. But, yeah, it's just crazy to think, man, that, you know, these people living in, I wouldn't say ancient times, because it was only like, what, a couple thousand years ago. The greatest thinkers, they thought that Earth was the central focus of the universe. Everything circled around the Earth, and it just so happens that it's not anymore. You know, we figured it out that there's a solar system. We all revolve around the sun because it's the biggest and densest object in our solar system, you know, besides Jupiter. So if you think about it, it's a perfect circle. It's not a perfect circle, but it's damn near perfect, and everything stays in its place, and that is the law of gravity. Now, a lot of these laws are unseen. A lot of these laws are, you know, Newton was the first one to discover the law of gravity. He said, oh, drop an apple, it falls to the ground, boom, that's gravity. And it's simple, you know, we simplify shit. We try our best, you know, as humans. So I'm coming to you live from Mars because I believe one day in my lifetime I will be broadcasting live from Mars, because I want to be one of the first motherfuckers that go up there. If there was Evel Knievel, you know, I'd be the Evel Knievel. I'd be the astronaut that goes up to Mars, just off of sheer will and focus. But yeah, it's just insane to think that we were at one point in the universe, on Earth, I mean, we were at one point thinking that we were the central focus of the universe. Theories changed that. Eventually, our brains kind of adapted. We got smarter over the years. But you have to realize that everything we know now was because of these thinkers, and we built our knowledge base off of their research, off of their studies, off of their, you know, bullshit that they put out there. And people thought they were fucking crazy. They thought they were fucking insane. Like, who the fuck is this guy named Galileo saying there's other planets? No fucking way. Guess what? Turns out he was a genius. So, you know, I went off on that little speech there because I believe that Mars is the mission. You know, we go to Mars. People will say, what's the point of that? It's a waste of money, Grandma. The point is, it's human exploration. You know, we're on this planet for so long, and we kind of just pass away. Time keeps moving on. Time keeps rolling on. So we have to keep evolving. We have to keep searching. We have to keep looking deep into ourselves, into the universe. And the more we can understand our surroundings, the more we can understand ourselves, nature, science, and what makes us human. You don't see monkeys flying fucking spaceships to the moon. Technically, we kind of are monkeys, but you know what I mean. You don't see horses, you know, coming up with algebraic tables and shit like that, because that's what makes us great. We're humans. We think and we evolve. So I definitely think Mars is in the game in my lifetime. You know, I'm 26, so 2021. My guesstimation, I'm saying 2030. We'll be at Mars by then. I heard the other day that it takes like a year from the moon, a year there and a year back. Even better, but it's all about the resources we have. So a lot of the hurdles getting to these different planets, these different, you know, mysteries that, you know, involves a lot of money. So it is what it is. So that's another point. Money, society, and is it worth it? A lot of people think it's a waste of money. I think it's fucking worth it. You know, technology is advancing. It's making all of our shit, you know, cheaper. We're able to explore. We're able to use this technology to dive deep. But recently, honestly, so space is amazing. You know, space is the outside atmosphere. But more recently, I've been doing a lot of research. I've been doing research for years. Probably since 18, I started diving deep into psychology. But if you really ask my opinion, I think that there is a universe in all of us, you know, because our brain has hundreds of millions of neurons. These neurons, some scientists say that there's more neurons in the brains than stars that we could see in the sky. So it's fucking incredible. And then if you think about it, each individual human on Earth has these hundreds of millions of neurons in their brain. So in my opinion, I think our limits and our potentials are limitless. I don't think we have limits. I think the only limits we set are out of fear. And with these 100 millions of neurons, I believe the brain is the most powerful force in the universe. I really do, because if you think about it, I don't know if your teachers ever told you this, but supposedly we're all stardust. You ever hear that? So, you know, stardust makes up everything. You know, the earth is here, it rotates around the sun, but you really have to think deep, because human psychology is crazy, you know, and our limits are limitless. So I think we could push our potential. Now, of course, there's certain physical limits. You know what I mean by that? Like the weight we could lift, how long we could hold our breath. You know, disease, we can't always beat disease. Although scientists say that, you know, disease, you know, they've seen incredible recoveries, incredible miracles happen in medicine and health just by sheer focus of the mind. So I'm really going to get into that. You know, the mind is a powerful tool. It really is. And I truthfully believe that the mind is one of the most powerful tools in the universe. I think we need to do a lot more research on the mind, even though there's tons of research going on, I'm sure, but I want you yourself to start doing the research. You know, I want you to really figure out who you are, just like I'm figuring out who I am. And it doesn't come overnight, doesn't come over years, it comes over a lifetime. But if we try, at the end of our lives, you know, we can get close to knowing who we really are. There's a lot of mysteries in the world that, you know, remain undiscovered, remain fucking mysteries, you know, mysteries of space, mysteries of death, tons of mysteries that are out there. So on the Holy Podcast, this is the type of shit we're going to be talking about. You know, we're going to go deep. We're going to talk about all this bullshit that you don't really hear in normal media channels and shit like that. And, you know, I think we're at the point where it's a crisis. You know, I think we're in the middle of a crisis. Joe Rogan has a fucking crazy-ass quote. He got it from someone else, but it says, I'm paraphrasing here, so give me some credit, but he pretty much says that tough men make soft men. Like, there's tough men and they develop a soft society. So I think that's where we're at. I call it the teddy bear society. I think we're all too soft. Shit's been given to us. We have this limitless potential. We have all this technology. Look, I could be looking at you through a fucking phone right now with a microphone. I'm just a man. Just a simple man, right? Got a computer, microphone, fucking light, green screen. I'm on Mars. That's not a green screen. Anyway, and you're listening to this. Now 15 minutes have gone by. Why have you been listening so long? Because you're interested. You know, there are mysteries and we're diving in deep. We're learning about this shit. So, like I said, I think it's time for us as a society to really dive deep, figure out who the fuck we are. Because all this shit, red, blue, Republican, Democrat, all this bullshit that's happening on Capitol Hill recently, the new president, who's the new president, we gotta push past that shit, man. We gotta come to a point where we have peace. You know, I don't think there's ever been peace in society, in humans, for more than 20 years. You know, it's serious shit. And we have this limitless potential. We have everything we need to, you know, form the greatest society that's ever lived on Earth. And we just keep bullshitting with each other. We keep talking about social media. You're right, I'm wrong. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. And you know what it's for? It's for money. The corporations, the news media, they all know this. They keep talking about the fucking pandemic. Vaccines aren't working. Vaccines have a 70% fucking chance to cure it. Vaccines, I can get the first dose, I can't get the second dose. Listen, take care of your body. Take your vitamins. It is a pandemic. I'm not downplaying it. We have been going through some rough shit, and a lot of people are out of jobs, man, and it sucks. It really sucks for these people because, you know, I kind of compare it to insurance, right? So insurance, you fucking pay them every month for years, and then you go to ask them for a check because you told her your house burned down. Make a big fucking deal. They ask you all these questions, blah, 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 what happened here, what happened there. And I've heard a lot of instances where insurance don't pay. You know, after all that bullshit, they'll hike your rate up. Come on. What the fuck are you paying these people for? What the fuck are they there for? Now, a lot of people are thinking that's like the government, you know? They're relying on the government to take care of them when they're at the house. The government ain't gonna take care of you. I'm telling you straight up. These people on Capitol Hill, they came and fucking signed a $600 initiative to give every American $600. Come on. And they talk about they care about people. It's all bullshit. It's all this political bullshit. It's all fake. So we have to come to a point as a society. I'm talking about the whole world here. I'm not just talking about America. A lot of Americans think it's just all about America. It's about the whole world coming together collectively and thinking of some brilliant shit, you know, because we are brilliant beings. And the thing I think, this is just my thoughts, once again, I think right now we're at a pivotal point in society. We're at the crossroads where we can either go left or we can go right. You know, right is doing the same bullshit, same fucked up scenarios, grilling each other, saying you're right, you're wrong, negative bullshit being put out in the news, the corporations, the social media channels, all that shit. The corporations controlling everyone like we're slaves, because we're modern day slaves, don't get me wrong. And the left path is the path unknown. So just like that quote, you know, from Robert Frost, you know, that poem, you know, I took the path less traveled and it made all the difference. So think about the world, think about time. Okay, time, society, nothing's forever. We're all temporary here. We're all temporary beings. We're all temporary brains. Our human body lives, let's say average 80 to 90 years, if you're lucky, you know? So you have 80 to 90 years, and then those thoughts and those society's thoughts die with society. Now the new generations come in, and that's where we're at. Are we gonna do the same bullshit that we've been looking at, that we were growing up with, or are we gonna change it for the better? And a lot of people say, I can't do that. You know, I can't change anything. Well, guess what? people that are crazy enough that think they could change the world are the ones that do. Okay? And like I said, we're at this crossroads right now. It's a fucking pivotal crossroad. And it's going to be the same bullshit, or it's going to be brand new. And I honestly think that the internal struggles that we're all dealing with come to fruition in what you see in the media, news channels, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ. I have nothing against any of that, But if I say anything about it, like, oh, well, I'm a white business owner, my mom's from Ecuador, I'm Spanish. But if I say anything like that, they say, you're racist, you're not with us, or you're against us. I'm not against you, I think all lives matter. Point blank, period. All lives matter. And there's a story where a professional soccer player's wife got fired for saying all lives matter. What the fuck type of shit is that? That's a teddy bear society. That's what I call it. It's a fucking soft society. It's how we were conditioned. It's how the older generation was conditioned. Now, I'm not saying that it's everyone, because it definitely isn't. I'm not generalizing all this bullshit to say, oh, hold on one sec. There we go. I'm not generalizing this to say, oh, everyone that's in the older generation is full of shit, they're all soft, I'm not saying that, because they're definitely not, but I'm saying this is what I've seen. And all I'm hearing nowadays, whether it's on the news, whether it's on the fucking media channels, I don't do social media. Why? Because I don't like negative energy. I don't. So let's get into it. We're going to be talking about what I think can help us and society. And like I just said, it's the internal struggles we all deal with. We all got them. If you could tell me that there's a perfect human being out there, let me see him, because there's not. There definitely isn't. There are good people, there are bad people, there's evil, always going to be evil in the world. But on the Holy Podcast, we're not talking bullshit, we're talking about real shit. What can you do to improve the world? You start small. That's how you do it. Because you can't improve anything until you improve yourself. Point blank, period. You can't expect to improve anyone, guide anyone, lead anyone until you improve yourself. Until you face the demons, until you face the fucking internal struggles that, everyone's dealing with. And, that's what I'm going to go over. It's a philosophy, it's a philosophy of discipline and mental awareness. So, I like to think about it like a seed becoming a tree. So that's what I call it, seeds to trees. So there's a natural law in the universe, just like gravity, right? A lot of these laws are unseen. They're not really understood. We can see them, but they're not really understood like every other law. So, farmers throughout history, they always knew about these laws because it's the law of reaping and sowing. Now, the law of reaping and sowing, it's a fundamental truth. I'm not bullshitting. It's you get out what you put in. Okay, you get out what you put into the universe, to yourself, anything. So think of it. You plant a seed. You water the seed, you take care of the soil, the sun helps, gives it nutrients, and it grows into a big ass tree. Now, if you ask, people thousands of years ago, before they started planting shit in ancient agriculture, before they even began, they didn't figure that out.